Alana Jaylo.
Yes.
We were just talking about the NFB versus the ACB.
Yeah.
So first of all, the NFB, National Federation of the Blind.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the ACB stand for?
American Council of the Blind.
And I am more of an NFB person. I went to an NFB training center.
Yeah.
I'm not an official member. I do have a lot of issues with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I have also many good friends in the NFB and no good friends in the ACB.
As do I.
Right. You actually have friends in the ACB, though, right?
And the NFB.
And we were just having a discussion because while I have many problems with the NFB, I do think that they're better than the ACB, but I've also had a lot less exposure to the ACB.
Right. I only went... Now keep in mind, I don't know much about the ACB, but I only went to one meeting.
What was it like for you? Without getting... Don't give any names, but...
I'm not going to give any names.
Okay.
I won't even talk about the person I sat next to.
Okay.
The two people I sat next to. Which apparently I was both of their guests. I kind of felt like... and granted, I only went to one meeting. But I felt, and this is just my opinion, that they were a little more... less cliquey and a little more inclusive. They didn't seem like they wanted to tell you how to live. As far as how to be a better blind person, I don't know. And granted, I only went to one meeting, so that's just one.
Well, I will say that one of my big issues with the NFB is it's super cliquey.
Yeah. And
I feel a lot of times people are promoted in the organization, if that's the right use of the word.
Absolutely.
If they're fun to be around,
yes,
versus whether they actually deserve to be propped up.
Yeah.
Having said that, I like the fact that they support independence. I like the fact that they have blindness training centers.
Right.
And the staffs of the blindness training centers are, for the most part, blind themselves.
Yeah.
So they're actually practicing what they preach in a lot of occasions.
And that is good. That you should be a part of an organization that does practice what they preach. But as far as the cliquey thing is concerned, I remember one time I had a friend from the NFB. I went to one of their Christmas parties, and I asked her, I said, could I please, I'm not going to mention your name, I asked her, I said, how can I get your number? And this is back in 2007. So how can I get your contact information? Oh, you have to go on the website. I'm like, why do I have to? And I don't understand this. It sounded to me like I had to be a part of her clique in order to get any kind of information.
Is it possible that she was also just a weirdo?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, yeah. I thought she was cool, and she is a cool girl. I mean, I haven't talked to her since 2007 because I don't know any of her information.
You never went on the website.
No, I think it was stupid. I'm like, why can't I just get your information from you personally instead of having to go on the website? And I also didn't want to, go to a NFB thing just to socialize with her.
She's not that cool.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much he's changed in the last 12 years, almost 12 years. So, I can't say. I don't know. I hope she's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely a little bit more in the pro NFB camp. And you're more neutral because you've never been a member of either organization.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm.
Yeah. By my own choice. But I know people that have been trying to get me to be a part of the NFB for a long time.
I do think that if you joined, there would be a lot of benefits you'd find. More friends, you'd see a lot more positive examples of blindness and blind people. And it's not to say that every person in the NFB is a master cane traveler or great cook or anything like that.
Right.
And there are definitely a lot of people in the NFB who I think have hardly any skills and are more ACB people.
Right.
However, I do think that there's a lot of good role models in the NFB.
But would you say that the ones who are less skillful, would you put them in categories with the ACB? Because like you said, I mean, not every person in the ACB is like that too.
That's true, and I don't know. Maybe I misspoke because remember, I don't know a lot about the ACB rather. I know what I heard when I was at the training center.
Yeah.
And I'm sure much of that was propaganda.
Yeah.
Just to keep it 100.
Right.
And like I was telling you earlier, I've had a couple of friends of mine who are both very honest people that have attended ACB conventions. One before he was a member of the NFB, and another one who just went because he had a scholarship, right? And they both said disparaging things about people in positions in the ACB.
Right.
That implied that they were not independent.
Yeah, okay. Well, that is disparaging to hear. But, as we've talked about earlier, it's the individuals within the organization.
Sure.
Not all of them are the same way. Yeah.
That's true. So, have you ever read a Colonel book?
No, and he told me about that. Where do you get those?
You can get the Colonel books online, I believe, at nfb.org. There's the books that they publish that are anthologies of different stories of blind people doing really, really cool things.
Now, when
and they're true stories, supposedly.
Yes. So a story I told you about a while back, if you remember, there was a woman that spoke at one of the NFB state conventions that I went to in Seattle. And she wrote a book called Small Victories, and it was based on her story and other stories of blind people that were born premature, like I was as well. And her story was on there, from what I understand.
She might have a story or two in a Colonel book then.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I never read a Colonel book.
Yeah, you can get them for free.
Huh.
They're interesting book. We read excerpts from them when I was at the training center. Sometimes somebody would read a story from them in a philosophy class, and then we talk about them. I remember one story about this girl who was completely blind, I want to say, and she was in Greenpeace. And somebody read her story, and we were commenting on it, and other stories in Braille class.
Ooh, one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no comment on that.
On what, Braille class?
On Greenpeace.
Oh, so because I'm a liberal and you're like this huge Trump. Even though I voted for Jill Stein, I'm so open-minded enough to date somebody who is a huge Trump supporter.
Well,
I voted for Jill Stein.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm with her, Jill Stein, not Hillary. We both agree that Hillary sucks.
I have a name for Jill Stein, but I'm not going to mention it here because I don't think it's the right place to do that, so okay. I won't.
I have a name for her, and it's called Correct.
Corrupt is more like it.
No.
Yeah.
No. Hillary is corrupt, I'll give you that, but Jill Stein seems pretty above the board. But regardless of whether or not you like Greenpeace, the fact that a totally blind woman was in it, don't you find that to be kind of cool?
That is. I think maybe if she's still around, I should set her up with. I told you about story.
No names.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. And I'm going to have to do some editing.
Ugh.
Yeah. This will not be posted tonight because of that.
Yeah, I won't.
But that's all right. Moving on, you ate Chipotle for the first time.
Oh, my goodness.
What was that like?
That was a really big honkin' burrito.
I've been telling you about this for a while, and you have other people.
And I wanted to get meat on it, but I guess apparently I wasn't specific.
Well, you have to say you want meat on it, babe.
Well, I know that now, but I just went in there the first time today, so it wasn't like I knew that beforehand.
But you liked it.
It was good. The corn, the sour cream, the salsa, the veggies, the rice. Oh, it's delicious. I wasn't sure if I was going to finish the whole thing.
But you did. You finished most of it.
I did. And I didn't care to eat the rest, the residue of it because I already ate all of it. So it was good.
And then we had banana bread.
Yeah. It's good. Banana bread is very good.
I'm beginning to really enjoy making banana bread.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I remember when you gave it to me the first time, I was like, who knew that sourdough would taste so good as banana bread?
My only regret is that I didn't have cranberries this time.
Oh, and the walnuts.
The walnuts too, but I'm more of a cranberry fan.
Okay.
Alana.
Yes.
You have not finished A Confederacy of Dunces.
No, but it's getting closer and closer to the escalation of the book, I think.
Tell me more.
Well, towards the end, he talks to Jones, and he talks to Jones about the Night of Joy bar, and he doesn't realize that Darlene is going to be on stage.
So towards the end, you're talking about where you're at, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not the end of the book.
Okay.
I didn't even get there yet. And he ends up. So after that whole thing, he ends up going dressing up in this like pirate regalia thing, and leaves his house going to that political / costume party.
The Dorian is throwing.
That Dorian is throwing with a lot of his friends. And the funny thing about this is that the 3 women in the party are really kind of manly, more manly than the men in the party. I mean, they're the ones who threw Ignatius out, actually.
It was a fun way.
It was really funny.
How they had that all resolved, because Dorian is playing some music, and then he interrupts, and then Ignatius gets on, I believe, one of the tables, something of that effect. And he starts giving the speech, and people quickly become annoyed with it.
Yes, they do. And they're like, oh, this is awful. Somebody put that delicious record back on of Lena Horne. It was funny. So now, towards the end, towards where I stopped, Ignatius has been summoned by Jones to go get in the bar because the show is about to start. He has no idea that Darlene is on stage, and on the poster, the name of the girl is Harlot O'Hara.
I love that play on words.
Harlot O'Hara, yes. Well, Scarlet... Oh, no. I was thinking about the Scarlet Pimpernel, which I never read.
Have you read Gone with the Wind or seen the movie?
No, I was going to read Gone with the Wind, but it had like 9 Braille volumes. It was a really long book. I really want to see the movie, though.
You've never seen the movie?
I told you that.
They didn't make you watch that in school?
No, I wanted to. I did not. I heard about it. I'd heard it was really good, and I wanted to watch it.
I've seen the movie 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I saw it was in 5th grade. It was just like a regular public school. This wasn't the artistic place I went to for middle school and high school. This was before that. We watched it. About a year later, it was on TV. Then in 1998, New Line Cinema re-released it in films. In films, they re-released it in theaters for a few weeks. And I went to that because having seen the film on the small screen, I wanted to see what it would be like on a big screen. First of all, it's a classic. I know I'm a big film person. Any lover of films should really see the movie. It's still to this day considered maybe one of the top 5 films ever made. And it was made in the 1930s, so that says something.
Did you know that there are some theaters that will not show it anymore?
I didn't know that.
It's awful. Well, because they have this idea that Gone with the Wind promotes, like, I don't know, white supremacy or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand that because it's in the South.
Well, there also was a lot of talk of slavery and whatnot.
But see, that's why it's good to watch it, because you know, this is a glimpse into the past. You know what happened in history.
It's interesting because when the film was made, there were still Confederate soldiers alive. Because I believe the last Confederate soldier died or Civil War veteran, I should say, died in the 1950s, early 1950s.
Oh, really?
I'm taking that out of Ken Burns' documentary, The Civil War, and it's been about 10 years since I've seen that.
Wow.
A great series, 10-part series on the Civil War. Anyways, when I saw it in 98 in the theaters, there were teenagers crying in the movie.
Wow.
That's how powerful it was.
It must have been really... I'm sure there were some sad parts, and I heard about the sad parts where Scarlett and Rhett lose their daughter.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's 80 years old, if you don't know that by now.
But I heard about really...
Can you give spoiler alerts on a movie that came out on the 30s?
Well, I don't know. I don't know because I've never seen it.
Okay.
But that's one of the sad parts. That's all I heard about it, about that part. But I'm sure there were several.
Yeah, like he leaves her 10 minutes after that happens.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now I want to see it, though.
It's a great movie.
I'd probably cry. Maybe I'll cry during the movie.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see your take on it. I've been thinking about reading the book because I haven't read it.
Yeah, my friend was telling me that she watched the book and she was talking about...
Read the book?
She watched them. Quit making fun of me. She watched the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I meant. I meant to say watch the movie.
Okay.
Wow. Maybe the burrito's talking.
Maybe.
Anyway, And she said she really liked it.
No, it's a masterpiece. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's still considered one of the top 5, by many people, not everybody, but still considered one of the top 5 best movies ever made.
Do you know who played Scarlett?
Yeah, it was Vivian Leigh.
Okay. Yeah, I heard she was really good. Yeah, see, now I want to watch it.
I believe she was married to Sir Laurence Olivier, right?
I don't know.
In real life.
Oh, she may have been. I don't know.
You don't follow her career.
I don't know anything about this lady. No.
What's really interesting is Hattie McDaniels, who played Mammy in the film, was not allowed to go to the premiere because she was black.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and the film, I believe, premiered in Georgia, where it was made, and she wasn't allowed to go to the premiere, and she ended up winning an Oscar for the role.
Whoa, that's terrible.
I heard Nas talk about it in a song, and I'm like, is that really true? And then I did some research on it. Apparently it is true.
Oh, wow, and she played Mammy.
Mm-hmm. She got an Oscar for it,
Wow.
and she wasn't allowed to attend the premiere of her own movie.
Wow. Huh.
Speaking of Nas,
Yes.
we were talking about this earlier. I read a book this week called An Infamous Life, written by Prodigy of Mobb Deep, who collaborated with Nas on several occasions. Mm-hmm. And I told you about this. It turns out, Alana, you've never listened to Mobb Deep.
No, I have no idea what music they have. Well, because, like I said, you went deep into rap than I did. I wasn't really... Apparently, I wasn't into that stuff because I don't know anything about it.
You never listened to Shook One's Part 2?
Not at all. No.
Da, 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 da. That doesn't mean anything to you.
No, it doesn't. For all I know, it could be a theme song to like a cartoon or something.
Wow.
But that's just, I don't know anything about it. And I joke, but I don't know anything about it.
You never listened to Return of the Mac?
Return of the Mac. That was a song, wasn't that a song by, who is it? Who did that one?
Prodigy did an album, and I believe it was called Return of the Mac, in like 2007, I want to say.
Well, Return of the Mac was a song by somebody else.
Okay, but he did an album called...
But I don't remember, I never listened to that album, but there was a song called Return of the Mac.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Prodigy's really a cool rapper. I was surprised that you'd never heard of him.
I heard his name, I just didn't listen to his stuff.
I do go deeper in rap than you do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You don't listen to a lot of hip-hop.
Well, the stuff that I like.
Right.
The 80s and 90s stuff was great, but...
He was around in the 90s, babe.
Well, I'm sure he was. I just never got into him.
That's so interesting to me. You are getting closer to the end of the Confederacy dances.
Yeah.
And during the last few days, mm-hmm. I've been revisiting the Harry Potter series.
Yes.
I'm now at the beginning of The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Which I will be starting after this book.
And you haven't this will be your first time reading it, and I haven't read it since 2007.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yep, and I only read it once, so it's a good refresher for me to go back through the series.
Yes.
Do you plan to just read one of the books?
No, I'm going to read...
You're going to read them all?
I'm going to read maybe the first two books that I haven't read yet, 3 and 4.
Okay.
Then 5, 6, and 7. Or 5 and 6, and then 7. And then 8.
But you... 8?
Remember I told you about the cursed child?
I thought it was called Harry Potter and the Search for More Cash.
Harry Potter and the Search for Dumbledore.
Harry Potter and the Quest for Currency. But I think that's book number 9.
I think you should write that one.
I think that's a good one. That's just like Harry Potter, just like trying to make ends meet, and he's like selling his magic services.
And he sells his invisibility cloak.
Right. I just need money. This kept me warm. I don't think that they made a book version of the play, did they?
No. The play, the Cursed Child apparently was written as a play. It's a story, but it's written as a play.
But they didn't make it into a book, though. You know, like how like Tennessee Williams plays have been released as books. They never released it as a book.
No, I mean it is a book. I think it's kind of like The Crucible. How The Crucible is a book, but it's a play at the same time.
Gotcha. Because I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it.
The Crucible?
No, not The Crucible. The Cursed Child.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean that it's not out there in
it might
book
be on a
form.
different website.
Yeah, it just means that I wasn't able to find it, or I haven't found it so far.
Right.
Yeah, they could do, the next one could be Harry Potter and the Yearning for Gold. That's what I'm thinking they're going to call it. What's really interesting how book 7 goes, because like Hermione's in a strip club and she's married to Dumbledore. And he had
That's
to
a really big age gap.
He had to leave Hogwarts because it's such a controversy. And now they're living in a trailer park. And Harry has to go and find them. And he finds them because like Jenny turns out she marries Snape and they move next door. So Ron's her brother, right? So Harry can't do any of these spells to find Hermione. But then he goes to the trailer park to see Jenny, and then he sees Dumbledore there.
That sounds like a really, really bad...
I just don't know how the play is going to follow it.
It sounds like a really bad show.
Are they going to be in the trailer park still in the play, or... I might have made that up.
You did. You
think so?
It doesn't sound magical to me.
Really?
No.
It's just... I made that up, I think.
I think you did.
Maybe I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I do like the way the series wraps up, though. I don't know if I'm going to like this cursed child nonsense, though.
Well, I think before you decide it's nonsense, you should at least read it.
Maybe I should.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the robbing of our fans. Harry Potter and one last cash grab.
Harry Potter and the magic merchandise?
Right.
Hey, if they can make like invisibility cloaks... Well, since they have the Bertie Bott's Every Flavor Bean now, they can make invisibility cloak. I don't know how they would do that. Invisibility cloaks, chocolate frogs, and wands and broomsticks.
I have a really good friend of mine who went to California, and he has kids, and they went to the Harry Potter exhibit at Universal Studios.
Oh, that must have been cool.
He said his kids really liked it. I don't know if this friend has read the book. I know him really well, but we don't talk about Harry Potter.
Yeah, I heard that they have this part of the exhibit where you can fly like Harry Potter.
Yeah, he says that it was cool for his kids, but it cost him a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would imagine if you're going to a theme park like that, that there's even a part in Universal Studios, I believe it's in Hollywood, and they have an area for The Simpsons. Because they have a Simpsons ride.
Oh, no kidding.
If you want to go on it. And they also have Lad and Lard's Donuts, or Lard and Lad's Donuts that Homer ate at. And then I think they have Krusty Burger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they have a donut place and Krusty Burger.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
Even though the show kind of sucks now, there's so many good episodes from the early years.
Yeah, I think it should end soon.
It's hard for me to say. I mean, I would love it to end, but only because I love the first 8 to 10 years so much.
I do too. I can honestly say when it first came out, I was almost obsessed with them. I wanted to watch them every Sunday and or Thursday, whichever day they were on.
I think that was the way for most kids, right? Of our age.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Such a great show.
I used to have a Simpsons pen.
I never had a Simpsons pen. I don't know if I had any memorabilia. Maybe
I did.
A t-shirt.
I used to wear a Simpsons pen. I used to wear it all the time because I love that show.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
But it's time. It's over, guys.
It's over.
End it.
Yeah.
End it already.
End it already.
End it, you.
Put it out of the misery.
Yes, I know you're greedy. I know you want every last cent from the fans, but
I think Bart needs to
die or
to die.
Maybe Bart should meet Harry Potter, and they could, they could do Harry Potter and Harry Potter and We Just Don't Care. We Want Your Money book.
They should do no. What they should do is they should manufacture candy bars.
Well, they have candy bars.
Harry Potter does?
No, The Simpsons.
No, I know they do. They have they made the Butterfinger famous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Butterfinger
they were associated with the Butterfinger. I shouldn't say. Yeah.
But I don't remember if they had any candy bars from them. Do they?
Well, I consider. I mean, I'm sure the Butterfinger was around before The Simpsons, but even to this day, because of those ads, whenever I eat a Butterfinger, I always think of The Simpsons.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
So even though they're not actually Simpsons merchandise, in my mind, they kind of are.
No, but they should do like, there's some things that they wouldn't be able to come out with, like invisibility cloaks, because I don't know if you can do that.
No, you can't.
But But like I don't know, wands for kids.
They
or,
do. They do have those.
wands.
Yeah, my friend paid $50 for a wand for one of his
Holy
kids.
moly!
Yeah.
It's not even magical.
No.
It would be cool to have one though.
Well, what they do is they have them hooked up electronically, and they'll have the kids point at things and do incantations. And because they're all, wirelessly connected, the things will actually work when they're doing it. And then you buy it and it doesn't do anything at all.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah.
But I would imagine those things as plastic.
Yeah.
And they just, if only a wand could work.
But after you read the Harry Potter series, then we're going to get into some really good discussions, because my favorite character, or one of my favorite characters from the series, Sirius Black, appears in the book you're about to read. I can't wait to get your take on the rest of the series. And then we can talk about other stuff like BoJack Horseman, which I think is probably the best show on television. Right
Which
now.
I have to do some major catching up, and with Rick and Morty, because I haven't been.
Rick and Morty is great, but BoJack Horseman to me is even better.
I think BoJack Horseman, what makes it better than Rick and Morty is because the characters have more depth.
Yeah.
There's a lot more depth. There's a lot more heaviness. There's lightheartedness, and people have the characters have emotions, even if they're animals.
Yeah. Well, they have real problems.
They do have real problems.
And the thing that gets me with Rick and Morty, it's not that they don't have real problems, but because they've established a multiverse. And we know that Rick and Morty, if something goes wrong, they can just go to another universe. It's a way for them to avoid dealing with the problems. Where in BoJack Horseman, when characters go away, when characters die in the show, they're not coming back unless it's in a dream sequence.
Right.
And in Rick and Morty, when a character dies, they can just go to a multiverse and find another character just like that.
They could.
Yeah. And so that makes it a little bit less... It makes the drama on Rick and Morty not work. And I feel that the drama on BoJack Horseman works just as well as the comedy. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, Jaylo.
Okay.
All right.
That is it.
That is it.